Hi, good afternoon, everyone. This is Cheryl Milicandra from BCED 19B, and for this afternoon, I will discuss about the exceptional development. But before that, we will proceed first in prayer. So, let's have a prayer first in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Dear Lord, thank you for this opportunity to learn new skills and strengthen my knowledge. Help me, dear Lord, and I believe I will be able to succeed in this report. Amen. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. So now, let's proceed to exercise, and I will show you on how to do an exercise using our hands. So this is our two hands. So um, I will show you on how to do that. So bring your hands out and finger back like this, and repeat finger at a time. So like that. You should repeat that. Okay. This is the finger exercise. So that's it. So now let's proceed to exceptional development, our main topic for this afternoon. So when we say exceptional development, everyone, this is commonly refers to learners with exceptionalities as a person who are different in some way from the normal average, or the term exceptional learners includes those with special needs related to cognitive abilities, behavior, social functioning, physical and sensory impairments, emotional disturbances, and giftedness. So, um, under exceptional developments, there is what we call learning difficulties. So, when we say learning difficulties, it involves difficulties in a specific cognitive process like perception, language, memory, or metacognition that are due to other disabilities like mental retardation, emotional, or behavioral disorder. So, under learning difficulties, there are three types of difficulties. Learning difficulties. So first, we have dyslexia, dysgraphia, and dyscalculia. So, let's talk about first what is dyslexia. So, when we say dyslexia, it affects both oral and written communications throughout an individual's life. Children with dyslexia have trouble identifying letters or words, and this can result in a slow, inaccurate, and effort for reading. This is always obvious when children are reading aloud because they might have to hesitate or guess afterwards, and they might end up reading without the normal intonation or expression. Also, dyslexia causes difficulties with spellings because the children might add letters by mistakes. All these efforts with reading means that the individual might have a hard time to understand what they have read. So in general, dyslexia is learning difficulty specific to reading. So next we have dysgraphia. Dysgraphia describes trouble with handwriting and spelling. Children with dysgraphia always miss upper and lowercase letter in words, and as the result, their writing is always slow. So the cause of them, they experience writing fatigue. So in general, dysgraphia is a learning difficulty specific to writing. And next we have the dyscalculia. So, a children in dyscalculia has a poor understanding of numbers and problems. Children under Children under dyscalculia have difficulty in using step in math operation and difficulty in understanding how to solve a math problems. In general, again, always take note everyone that dyscalculia is a learning difficulty specific to mathematics. Okay, so and always remember everyone about the important things to keep in mind that about these learning disabilities is that they are not lack of intelligence or desire to learn. Children with learning disabilities are not lazy or dumb. In fact, most of them are just as smart as everyone else. Their brain are simply different in the terms of understanding and the different of effect on how they receive or process information, and with the right teaching method and support these children will be succeed at school and beyond. So they are same as other children. They have hearts and brain, and we should respect them, um, even if they have a this kind of disorders. So here, exceptional development in children. So I will discuss each of them later on. So first we have the intellectually gifted, children with intellectual deficits, Turner syndromes, Klinefelter syndromes, pervasive developmental disorders, autistic disorders, and Asperger's syndrome. So let's talk about first the intellectually gifted child. So when we say the intellectually gifted child, it is known as a gifted or a talented child, or a child who is naturally endowed with a high degree of general mental ability in sphere of activities or knowledge. So children were gifted are often in a characteristic that are specific to them. So for example, they have a larger vocabularies and they will use more sentences when they speak. And also they have a greater ability to comprehend subtitles of language, and most of the gifted children they have a great memory abilities that they possess a great curiosity and can learn things easily. That's why gifted child is very intelligent. And also, according to psychologists, they define giftedness in children who have an intellectual activity linked to an IQ score of 130 or over. However, it doesn't mean that all children above 130 or over are gifted. So if you know someone or a child who have a gifted or a talented mind, for sure their future will be brighter because they have gifted mind. So next we have um, educational alternatives for gifted children. So the enrichment program for gifted children, it must be good in creative writing. So of course, children good in creative writing is, for example, they can create sentences easily in their own without the help of their parents, their sister, or their teacher because they have that kind of intelligence. So next we have painting. Children gifted in art or painting develop the desire and the ability to depict people and other subjects from their environment at an early age that the other children because they are intellectually gifted. So if that child is good in painting, and of course they can create a good painting. And next we have dancing. So if a child have a special talent or ability in dancing, for sure they will understand and memorize the dance step easier. And also dancing is good for our body. And we have specific consideration in the child's inclination. So children often leaves assessment with a boost in self-esteem, having been praised and encouraged for their hard work and persistence by their choosing interest in life. So next we have here children with intellectual deficits. So yeah, children with intellectual deficits. This disability, everyone might have a hard time um, letting other know their wants and needs and taking care of themselves. So intellectually disability could cause a child to learn and development more slowly than other children at the same time, and it could take longer for a child with intellectual disability to learn to speak, walk, dress, or eat help without the help of their parents, and also they could have a trouble in learning in school. So next, let's proceed to under children with intellectual deficits, we have Turner syndrome. Turner syndrome is a chromosome disorder that affects only to females. It involves a lack of part of a second sex chromosome in some of all cells. Turner syndrome is a congenital condition, meaning it is something a person is born with two chromosomes. So if you are a female, you were born with two X chromosomes. So if you are a male, you are born with one X and one Y chromosomes. And Turner syndrome occurs when one of the X chromosome is missing either partially or completely. So the cause of Turner syndrome, everyone, is typically noticeable by the age of 5, and it usually doesn't affect intelligence but can lead to developmental delays, especially with calculations and memory. And the common problem under Turner syndrome is a heart problem can cause death of a child if there's no one to care about the children's condition. Yeah, they should go to the doctor and have some therapies and check up so that they will uh, become better. So here we have an example of Turner syndrome. So try to look at the example picture right here, everyone. So this is, as you can see, this is the web neck. So neck of the child is not normal, and we can see that this is a wide compared to our normal neck, and that's what we call web neck. And the second example is edema of the leg and foot. We see right here that the child's hands and feet that are swollen or puffy at birth, and soft nails with turn upwards. And the last one is low posterior hairline. It allows hairline at the back of the neck, low set of ears. So that is the example of Turner syndrome. So if you saw someone have this kind of body, therefore they have Turner syndrome. So next, Klinefelter syndrome or XXY. Klinefelter syndrome is a genetic condition that results when a boy is born with an extra copy of X chromosome. Klinefelter syndrome is only affects in male. It happens because of a different tip inside the body cells in a microscopic strate of DNA called chromosomes. Again, always take note of that, everyone. It's called chromosomes. So, Klinefelter syndrome may adversely affect testicular growth, resulting in smaller than normal testicles, which can lead to lower production of testosterone. The syndrome may also cause reduced muscle mass, reduced body and facial hair, and enlarged breast tissue. The effect of Klinefelter syndrome, everyone have not the same sign and symptoms. And also, um, Klinefelter syndrome, they produce little or no sperm, but assisted reproductive producers may make it possible for some men with Klinefelter syndromes to father children. So here we have the Klinefelter syndrome's physical sign, or yeah, the physical sign. So try to look at the example pictures right here. This is first we have the frontal baldness absent. So when you say frontal baldness absent, when a hair loose on the front and side of your scalp. Hair loss may also occur on eyebrow, eyelashes, and the other part of the body. So next we have tendency to grow fewer chest hair, so lower amount of our body and facial hair in men. And the breast development, so largest breast and female type pubic hair. This type of pubic hair is the same pubic hair of female, and this is not normal if the boys have this kind of condition. And next we have the small testicular size and poor beard growth. So men's less chances of growing a beard. And next we have the narrow shoulder and wide legs. So the wide legs and this physical sign, everyone, is what we call a Klinefelter syndrome. Always remember that. And in general, always remember that the difference between Turner syndrome and Klinefelter syndrome, they have both, and both of them are genetic disorders. Okay, because by the variations in the number of sex chromosomes, they have the same disorders. Always take note of that. So now let's proceed to pervasive development disorder. So when you say pervasive development disorder, or PDD for short, now as an autism spectrum disorder, or ESD, but later on I will discuss them. I will discuss about the autism spectrum disorder, and it's characterized by delaying in the development of social and communication skills, and it will affect all of the major development system like in social, cognitive, and languages. But pervasive development disorder, everyone, is not actually a term that doctor use anymore, but they called it PDD. PDD are not called autism spectrum disorder. Okay, I will repeat. According to doctor, they will not call them PDD. They will call them autism spectrum disorder. Please take note of that. So speaking of autism spectrum disorder, um, it is a developmental disability caused by differences in the brain. Some people with ESD have known different, such as genetic condition. Other causes are not yet known. Scientists believe that there are multiple causes of ESD that act together to change the most um, common ways of people development. So we still have much to learn about that these causes and how they impact people with ASD or autism spectrum disorder. Children with ESD may have communicate, interact, and learn in ways that they are different from most other children. There is often nothing about how they look that set them apart from others. So, for example, um, some children with ESD may have an advanced conversation skills or areas other may be nonverbal. Some children with ESD needs a lot of help in their daily lives, like the support and the guidance from their parents, because having an autism everyone is not easy for them to survive their life every day. So um, So we have here the autism spectrum disorder. Most children with ESD have other related characteristics, and this may include the first we have delayed cognitive or learning skills. So in this term, it is used when a child has a certain limitations in mental functioning and in skills such as communicating, taking care of him or herself, and social skills. These limitations will cause a child to learn and develop more slowly than a typical child. Next, we have unusual eating and sleeping habits and hyperactive, impulsive, and or attentive behavior, or this is what we call ADH, or also called attention deficit disorder, is a behavior disorder usually first diagnosed in children that are characterized by inattention, impulsively, and in some cases, hyperactive activity. And we have anxiety, stress, or exercise worry, and lack of fear or more fear than expected. So these are the characteristic under autism spectrum disorder. So there are three functional levels of autism. So try to look at right here, everyone. So first we have the level 1 required and sport. Level 1 ESD is the middle form of autism. Children with level 1 ESD have a hard time communicating appropriately with others. A child with ESD level 1 usually is able to speak in full sentences or communicate, but has trouble engaging in back and forth conversation with others. They may try to make friends, but it's not easy for them to do that. Yeah. So, for example, children may not say the right things at the right time or to be able to read social causes and body languages. So that's what we call required and support in level 1. So the second one we have um, level 2 requires substantial support. So children with level 2 tends to have very narrow interest and engage in repetitive behaviors. So that can make it difficult for them to function in a certain situation. So for example, they may pack back and forth or say the same things over and over again. Like they want to say or they want to get an attention from others. That's why they want to say that kind of words. So next we have level 3 requires very substantial support. So this is the most severe from among of the autism, Children in this category will have many of the same behavior as those with level 1 and level 2, but to most extreme degree. So, expressing themselves both verbally and non-verbally can make it very hard to function, interact socially, and deals with a change in a focus or location. In repetition behavior is another symptoms of level 3 EST. So that's the three functional level of autism. And now let's proceed to Asperger's syndrome. So Asperger's syndrome, everyone, is the developmental disorder of a young people. So young people with Asperger's syndromes have a difficult time relating to others solely, and their behavior and thinking patterns can be rigid and repetitive. And this kind of syndrome is common in boys than girls. Generally, children with Asperger's syndrome can speak with others and can perform very well in their schoolwork. However, they have a trouble understanding in social situation and subtitle form of communication like body language, humor, and sarcasm. And also, they might think and talk a lot about one topic or interest, or only want to do a small range of activities. So that's what we call Asperger's syndrome. So here we have the symptoms of Asperger's syndrome. So first we have obsessed with a single object or topic. So it means child is obsessed with a particular topic, like he wants to talk a lot or more. And second, we have the problem in the social situation, like children who have Asperger's syndrome has a weak social skills, and they don't know how to fix a problem because they don't understand how to socialize with other people. So it's so sad for them to do that kind of situation. And next we have body language. So when a child communicate, they are feeling through about facial expression or movements of their body. And next we have um, monotone voice. Children who have their voice does not vary at all its tone or loudness, and it is not interesting to listen. So that's what we call monotone voice. They don't want to listen, or someone who tried to speak with them, because yeah, that's what we call monotone voice, monotone image. And people comments or emotions and eye contact and facial expressions. So the difference between autism spectrum disorder and Asperger's syndrome, everyone, um, it has an official change, but many still use the terms Asperger syndrome when talking about their condition. Like the symptoms of Asperger syndrome are now included in a condition called Autism Spectrum Disorder, or ESD. ASD is now the name used for a wide range of autism like disorder. Some provider may still use the term Asperger syndromes, but others will say ESD without intellectual or language impairments. So these two syndromes are for um, have the same and common names. So I think that's the end of this discussion, everyone, and I hope you have understand what I have saying right now. And thank you for listening, and God bless.